Hi guys, Arthur here from Homeowner DIY. In this video, I'm going to be installing a single handle Moen faucet and a Kohler drop-in sink. Now this is going to be very similar to my other video, guys. Check out the description in case you want to have another version of something very similar to this, because of course every job has its nuance. So what we'll do now is look at our setup. Alright guys, this is our setup. So here is our steel sink. You see the chipping here. Anyways, I'm going to replace the sink with the porcelain drop-in. The dimensions aren't quite the same, but it should be relatively straightforward to do this swap. So what we'll do now is material and tools. Okay, this is our material list. So I have a Moen Liso faucet. This is the model number. A Kohler sink, so this is a drop-in oval sink. White DAP. Plumbers putty, and then some Teflon tape. Guys, this is the materials list for this job. So what we'll do now is a tools list. Alright, this is the tools list for this job. So I have my pouch. I'll need a flathead screwdriver, maybe a hammer. Sometimes drop-in sinks are silicone in. We'll see what happens here. A pan for any water for testing. My finishing kit. So channel lock, pliers, 10-inch Crescent wrench, silicone tooling tool, ratchet wrenches. We'll see if there's anything else. A work light, and then an extension cord. Guys, this is the tools list for this job. So let's swap out and install this new drop-in sink and faucet. Okay, so for drop-in sinks, you have clips. You see the two there. There's another one there, and then there's one on the other side. So what these things do is they get tightened to the countertop. Now this one's just a slot, so all you gotta do is just loosen it off. And that is the clip that you need to take out. Okay, then I'll go ahead and take the last one out. Alright, so the slip adapter nut needs to be loosened off. Okay, with that loosened off, the entire sink can now be pulled out of the countertop. Alright, the water lines were already disconnected because I changed out the stops. But now the entire thing can come out. Okay, so make sure that the condition of your countertop is still good. If you're going to switch out your drop-in sink, that's the first thing that you should check. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and wipe all of this debris out. And then for anything like this, just take a flathead screwdriver or a knife and then gently remove it. Okay, here's our sink. It's very close to the previous sink in dimension. So one thing that we need to keep in mind is when we look down, we want to make sure that the drain is going to line up. Now, because this and the other sink that I just did here are the same dimensions, I already have an idea of what I'm getting myself into. Everything is going to work out well here for the most part. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start on prefabbing the faucet. So the faucet will be installed onto this before the sink is put down because it's going to be easier. Okay, because we have a single handle faucet and a 3-hole design here, the deck plate is needed. If you're not going to use the deck plate, you don't need to for a single hole design. But if you're not going to use a deck plate, you have an O-ring, and the O-ring is going to fit up into here, and then you can tighten down the faucet. But because the deck plate is going to be used, the O-ring is not needed. You see this here, and this is going to fit into this groove. So here's our foam gasket, it has an adhesive strip on one side. There's our foam gasket. The adhesive strip goes towards the deck plate, so this will be all foam. If you want to put putty under here, you can. It's not necessary. So here we have our washer. You see the rubber side on one side, and then this is the nut. It's not threaded all the way through. It's threaded on this side, but it's not on this side. Depending on the thickness of your countertop, your sink, whatever, you can flip which way you want to use it. And then this here says this side down, as in the rubber portion is going to be towards the top, and then this nut is going to be on this side. If you flip it like this and tighten it like this, you've done it backwards. Alright, so the deck plate can go on. It doesn't matter which way the deck plate goes on, if it's this way or if you flip it the other way. It's not directional. Okay, so it is going to sit just like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the sink out and then thread on the nut onto the washer, and that's going to hold this whole thing in place. Alright, so the washer can be put on. And now I'm going to have the threaded side towards the bottom, just so there's less threading involved. So here's the Moen wrench that comes with it. The smaller end will go onto the nut. Now, you do have a couple holes that you can put a wrench into. So you have a hole here that you can put a screwdriver into for more leverage if you need to. I don't think it's really necessary. It depends on if you want to go tighter or not. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten down the nut and then make sure that your deck plate is relatively straight to where it needs to be. Okay, so the nut here has been tightened down. Make sure that you see foam all the way around for both holes so you don't have a leak underneath your deck plate. And then also make sure that your deck plate is straight as well as the faucet. Okay, so this is the drain assembly for a Moen. So it has a rubber gasket up here. It has a coned washer down below. Now this is a one-piece unit. So what you do is you throw the unit in through the hole through the top. Now, from the previous sink I learned that this gasket here is no good. So that is why putty is needed. Okay. So get into a nice line like that, and then this can go on the bottom. Now, because the difference in the sink and this drain is so much, the gasket's not going to work, and that's where the putty will take up the variations very well. Now, in case you're wondering about silicone, I am not a fan of silicone in this case because it makes things hard to remove. So I have this here. And then what I'm also going to do is for the threads down here, I'm going to put Teflon tape because you can have water run down the threads. Okay, so I've wrapped it 5 times. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop this in through the top, and then we'll line the two up. Okay, with that put through, the cone washer can go on. And now this is the nut for the slip adapter. Here I'm trying to slide the coned washer up onto the smooth portion of the drain assembly. Now, because this is two different brands, one's a Kohler, one's a Moen, sometimes you have issues like this, and I think the cone washer isn't designed to be up so high. It's not going to be an issue for performance, but this is something that I had to deal with on this job. Alright, we're cone washer at the top now, the nut can be threaded on. Okay, I already know this is going to be an issue. There's too much play between the ring and the plastic tail piece. So I'm going to tighten this down, and then this will need to be sealed because it's going to leak, and I already know it's going to leak. These have ran this problem before. Alright, so for our hot and cold, the hot is marked with a tag. So that's a tag, hot side with the model number. So tighten the supply lines onto the stops. The nut here, this is 5/8, and then I'm going to use a 10-inch crescent wrench to back wrench the stops. Okay, I'll go ahead and do the cold first. Now when you do your supplies, you can always twist the supply line. So the supply line, you can always twist it back, because as you tighten the nut forward, it's going to want to bring it this way. So you're just countering a kink that might happen. And then for both of these nuts, you're going to tighten them down as far as they're going to go. And then I'll go ahead and do the hot, because you're not going to be able to see it. Okay, the hot and cold can now be turned on. Okay, the excess putty can be removed. The stopper put in. Now I have a container already underneath, so what I'm going to do is run water. Now, because nothing has really been changed, the aerator doesn't need to be taken out here. So you do see a little bit of debris from the copper. Alright, so we're going to fill it up to max capacity. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and dump the volume of water. I'm surprised actually nothing came from this nut. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill it up one more time and then do a second test. Okay, everything seems to be okay, so I need to go ahead and dap all the way around. Alright, and then with our tooling tool, go ahead and wipe off the excess. Now I prefer to go in short runs so you don't make a mess. So when applying Dapper silicone, the way I learned is to just apply what you need and then scrape off the excess. This is going to minimize any type of mess, and it's going to give you a nice clean finish. This is something that's going to take practice. The amount of material that you use and then the amount of pressure that you use is what's going to give you your finished look. If you do too much, then you're going to make a mess. If you don't do enough, you can always wait for everything to dry and then apply more if you need to. It is better to apply less than more in this case. Okay, once you've gone one way, do the exact same thing and go the opposite way to clean everything up. Okay, so there's our finished product. I would say let the DAP dry before you start using the sink. But I've tested this twice, everything looks good. I'll take a quick look inside the cabinet. Alright, so I put putty up here because, like I said, I don't know what's with these Moens, but for some reason there's a bit of an issue. If you have clear silicone, go ahead and use that. I don't, so I'm just going to put putty. But you're going to check for leaks here, leaks up here. Everything looks okay. So also for your aerator key and then faucet wrench, my suggestion is tape this onto like the back wall of the side here, and then mark aerator key. It says Moen right here. Moen. And this is the aerator key. If you have a slow running faucet, this is when this is going to come in. Don't throw it out. And then if you want to remove or have to service your faucet, this will help you with that. But guys, that is it for this job. Everything looks good. So what we'll do now is an overview of this job. Alright guys, so that concludes this job. So this install went smoother because I learned the nuances from the previous install. The one thing I didn't really mention from the other install is you need to make sure that your drainage is still going to line up properly. I mean, the trap can be swung because it's a union trap, but there have been times before where I've had to actually move the trap itself. I've had to cut the ABS back and then move it. I thought when I was going to install these, before ever seeing them, I thought they were going to be steel sinks once again. Everything worked out, but be aware that you may have to move the drainage because the dimensions of the sink are not the same. The time on this job. Once again, I'm going to say, as an average, be prepared for about an hour and a half, of course, because this is the second install. It went faster, but I'm very comfortable to say an hour and a half round trip for this install. The cost of this job. This faucet was a little bit cheaper. I'm going to say the cost for this one is $400. Now, the sink is the same. The faucet it's the same install method, but I noticed that the cost is a little bit cheaper, and then the putty and DAP is once again negligible. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. I hope something here is going to help you on your project when you need to go ahead and do that. Guys, listen, please hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next project.